Hey everybody, and welcome back to All Things Local STL TV. I'm Chris Slay, your shop local guy, and I'm excited that you stopped by. We're coming to you from the ever-impressive Outreach Studios located right here in Richmond Heights, Missouri, and I can't wait for you to see today's show. First up, we're going to meet Alison Hillman of BTP by Alison as she shares her passion for helping you pause life with the lens of her camera. You're going to be blown away with her story and why she knows that what she provides is so incredibly meaningful. In the second half, we'll meet Kacie Starr Long, the founder of the local nonprofit organization Sew Hope Community Sewing Room, as she shares with us her story of how sewing is helping build a stronger community both here and around the world. These two amazing St. Louisans are driven to help make our lives and the lives around us better. Stay tuned. Alison Hillman is coming right up. Photos of loved ones, friends, and special moments are precious to us all. They allow us to remember the occasion and that moment in time. Well, our first guest, Alison Hillman, the Alison in BTP by Alison, turned her passion into a calling to help people hit the pause button on life and capture those special moments because she knows just how incredibly important it is to have those pictures to cherish forever. Today, Alison is going to share why this passion of hers is so important and why you need to make sure you have a professional photographer for your next special event. Welcome, Alison.
Hi, friend.
Hello,
I'm
hello.
so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. I love your story, and I just want to share that with the world. So let's start with this. BTP stands for Been There Photography. What does that mean?
Well, I have. We lost Dad when I was a junior in high school, and Mom and I were going through the photos for the funeral,
Yes.
like you do. And there's no photo past me being 6 or 7 with just me and my dad.
Oh my goodness.
And it just, imagine a 17-year-old that just lost their dad. I was already, so I've literally been there. And now, fast forward to my wedding day, my dad wasn't there. So it's not like you can redo that.
Right.
The wedding pictures weren't great. So I've been there to make sure, and now I don't even have them hung in my house. And I have the most adorable 3-year-old in the whole wide world,
Right.
Jace. Where's the pause button? Because
He grows quick.
he's starting school this year. When did that happen? And my husband and I talk about that all the time, that it's just so, you blink and it's another chapter of your life.
Absolutely. And it's so incredibly important to be able to look back on those, and not just the photos on your phone, but the real shots that are taken by a professional photographer. Why did you decide to become a professional photographer?
It chose me. I remember, so I went to school for journalism and all that, and started taking pictures for friends. And I realized there's a moment sometimes when you're doing things and you're like, God just says this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
So I became the storyteller for my friends and family. And
I love
then
that.
we moved to St. Louis 10 years ago. And so rebuilt my business. There was the decision, am I going to do it here too?
Right.
And I did, and left corporate America in 2018 and hit the ground running ever since.
Now you're
So,
celebrating 5 years.
5 years, and my second St. Louis Magazine A-List Finals nomination this year.
Congratulations.
And
Well deserved.
Thank you. And you think, sometimes as an entrepreneur, you think, what the heck am I doing? And
Absolutely.
then St. Louis Magazine emails you and it's like, hey, they think you're one of the best photographers in the city. So you're doing what you're called to be doing.
I can attest. You've done many a shot for us, many times. And it's always been a wonderful experience, not just because of the pictures that we receive, but Alison, I think you have an incredible gift. You make people feel comfortable during that awkward process. What is it that you love most about working with your clients?
So perfect example, I was doing a gotcha day a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
And the brother of the mom, he said, so are you just a photographer? I thought you were a member of our family.
Oh, you gotta love that.
And I was like, oh no, your sister hired me. And how many clients become friends, because what we do is it's an intimate thing, because I'm getting to know your babies and wedding pictures and everything. And I'm now at a point where weddings that I shot years ago, they're having babies now.
Oh, you gotta love that.
And
That's
so
cool.
it's literally full circle. So when I say I'm capturing the prologue of your life, I literally am. And it just, what a compliment is. You know, I cried at a newborn shoot the other day because I was remembering the wedding day, and now they've worked to have this beautiful little nugget, and it's just, it's the biggest compliment of my life.
And clients became friends.
Yes.
Beautiful. Now, a lot of people maybe have a misconception about hiring a photographer. They think maybe it's just like headshots or just the wedding, but there are so many different times and occasions where a photographer really comes in handy. Let's talk about a couple of those.
So I do weddings and events.
Yes.
So, I mean, that can be birthday parties. How many times are you stuck behind your phone and you're like, I missed the day?
Well, yeah, you're trying to interact with your guests. You don't
Right.
really have a chance, or maybe it's the kiddo and you want to really be special with them. So you don't have time to grab your phone and get those captured moments.
Absolutely.
So again, a perfect example of why you need a professional photographer.
You really should be asking yourself, do I want to be present for this?
Exactly.
So it's my job to come in and press pause on those memories so that you can actually see them happening, and then look through the pictures later and go, oh my goodness, do you remember when they did X, Y, and Z? So
Perfect.
you actually get to enjoy the party you plan.
Yeah, that's always a good idea.
Yeah.
So I know that you do the weddings, you do different types of events, you do corporate events, you do graduation photos.
I speak teenager fluently.
Yes, you do, because I've actually been present when you were working with a teen, and you made them feel so comfortable, and it is awkward in that moment.
That's such an awkward season of life anyway.
Right.
And no two senior sessions are the same. And most of the time they're like, Mom, I don't even care, just book it. So I bring them I encourage them to be part of the consult. Every client does a consult with me, or I recommend that they do.
Right.
Because first they need to see the quirky, fun glass,
Of course.
silly sense of humor that I have to say either absolutely or maybe not. But the kid needs to be part of the conversation, because
Right.
they're the one that's worked so hard in high school, whether it's at a job, playing soccer, or whatever, so that we can really capture what that season of life has looked like for them.
Perfect, perfect. Those are all awesome, but the coolest one you do, and we just got to share this briefly, is the engagement photos. Tell everybody what that does.
I hide in the bushes, not literally, but usually it's where maybe it tells your story. Maybe we're at the Botanical Gardens. Shout out to them, one of the best St. Louis spots. But it's just, you get to have that moment where maybe you do surprise them, or maybe they knew it was coming, or whatever, because the pure joy that's in that moment when you first drop down to the knee, or you half crouch, or however you're going to do it, you
Right.
do you. And and I stalk you, for lack of a better, it's literally me with a camera, and we get those moments, and then we get to do cute pictures, because you're glowing after you agree to forever to the love of your life. So
Absolutely. I think it's the coolest
I love
thing,
them.
you know, you popping out with the camera. It's just beautiful. All right, we got to wrap this puppy up, but I got to ask you, what's your favorite thing about St. Louis? I think I already know the answer, but go ahead.
oh my goodness. So I moved to St. Louis on purpose, because this was my happy place as a kid. And just the diversity of, you can be a sports fan here, you
Yes.
can like arts here. So the Fox, go Cardinals.
Amen.
We have the best soccer team. We can say that now. There's just you don't have to do the same thing every weekend.
Right on, right on. Well, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
For sharing your passion, for sharing your love of St. Louis, and of course, letting everybody know how important it is to hit that pause button.
Yes, absolutely.
When it comes to your events, whether it's a party, a graduation, an engagement, a wedding, or whatever it may be, Alison would love to share with you how she can help you pause that moment, capture that treasured memory forever. You can learn more about BTP by Alison at allthingslocalstl.com. We're going to be right back after a short break, so stick around.
Reach your audience with Outreach Studios. Studio 17 offers 1,000 square feet of customizable space that can accommodate roundtable discussions, podcasts, live stream content, and much more. For a different look, we offer View 17, This one-of-a-kind event center is fully wired for broadcast and is perfect for corporate or commercial content. With Outreach Studios, the opportunities are endless. Elevate your message, your brand, and your expectations with Outreach Studios.
Welcome back, everyone. Kacie Starr Long, the founder of So Hope Community Sewing Room, a St. Louis-based nonprofit organization that focuses on classes, workshops, and an inclusive space, is on a mission to bring our community together through sewing. Kacie is going to share with us what So Hope is all about, the impact that it makes here and around the globe, and how you can get involved as well. I'm excited to learn more, and with that, welcome, Kacie.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks so much.
I'm very excited to have you here. So please share with everybody, what exactly is the So Hope Community Sewing Room?
So some people may be familiar, maybe their grandmother or their mother that had their own little nook in the house. That was their sewing room.
Yes.
It included a sewing machine, fabric, and scissors and all of that. Well, the So Hope Community Sewing Room, it's a community sewing room. So we have sewing machines, we have fabric, we have notions, and we are really a big inclusive space for current sewers and wannabe sewers to come in, take lessons, enjoy community, and really discover their God-given talent to create things.
I absolutely love it. It is a beautiful space. Now, you're located on Lindbergh, right? What is the address again?
So the official address is 630 North Highway 67. You know, it's that part that turns into North Highway 67.
I know, yep.
Right. So we're in Florissant, Missouri. Our zip code is 63031.
Perfect. Now, you opened in March of last year, and then something devastating happened. Can you share with everybody what actually occurred?
So you're absolutely right. So we opened with much fanfare in March 2022. 5 months later, Chris, a big flood happened in our community.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we had to close for close to 8 months. But the good news is that we have returned from the flood. A lot of work, a lot of sweat equity put in by our volunteers, but we are reopened and we're doing classes. We have a beautiful, newly renovated 2,400 square feet of space.
It is gorgeous.
For people to come in and sew and come see what So Hope is all about.
Awesome. So in the midst of that diversity, the community once again pulled together, your volunteers and all the workers, and boom, now you're back open and you're serving yet again. That's awesome. Tell everybody why it's so important for you.
Sure, so that's really kind of a loaded question, but I'll make it really simple. We're a nonprofit. And in the Florissant community, we're kind of located in a creative desert. There aren't many places where people can come in and create things.
I agree.
So we've identified a need in the community. And there are people, they want to learn how to sew. Maybe it's been just like a little seed and they didn't know where to begin. And so we're here to help people discover their God-given creativity, but we're also a safe space for people to come in and make friends. I am 42 years old and I'm always on the lookout for new people to be part of my tribe, to be part of my community. And we're seeing that at So Hope, where friendships are being formed and connections are being made.
Well, what's amazing about you is that so many people that I know you and talk about you. And they're like, you have to meet her, you have to meet her. And in meeting you right away, I knew that there was a light about you that is just very special. And I think that's something that So Hope, you can feel it when you walk in the community sewing room. You can feel that vibe of togetherness.
Yes.
How did how do you attain to that?
That's a great question. So honestly, when God gave me the idea for the So Hope Community Sewing Room, I knew that it would be just more than sewing.
Right.
And so I began to just really pray into that. Like, God, I feel like you're calling me to embark on this mission, but God, there has to be something else in addition to sewing. God, I pray that when people come in, they will feel like your presence, that they will feel a sense of belonging. They will find friendships, they will find community, and that's what's taking place. So people are drawn into the fabric, they're drawn into the classes, but I am seeing that there is so much more. Friendships are being formed, confidence is being increased, self-esteem. is being valued, and we're seeing that in both kids and adults at So Hope.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So you could probably help even a guy like me who secretly does want to learn to sew. I think I shared that with you. You can help me learn through your classes. Tell us a little bit about the classes and how often they occur.
Sure. So we have some core classes that include our Learn to Sew for adults and kids. It's a beginner entryway into sewing. It's a 4-week class. Okay. We also have a class that's sewing machine basics. Maybe you have a sewing machine, right, that's in the closet. You haven't used it. You're kind of intimidated about it. We want you to bring it in. It's a 90-minute class. We'll show you how to use it. We also have some fun classes like t-shirt quilting and quilting for beginners. Yeah. We also do alterations.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes, we have a class for that too. If you want to learn how to take up your pants or put a hem in, we have all kinds of classes for kids and adults.
You mean I don't have to use that tape that falls apart?
No, don't use that. We'll teach you how to do a more permanent stitch.
I love it. I love it. I want to share with everybody how they can get involved and how they can help the So Hope Community Sewing Room. So please.
Great. So as a nonprofit, we're always looking for people who want to support our mission. Maybe you don't sew, but maybe you want to give so that it can help support a child who may want to begin sewing lessons and mom and dad can't afford. So we always accept financial donations. Maybe you have fabric or you know someone that has passed away and they had a big sewing room. We accept donations of every kind: fabric, tools, quilting supplies, sewing machines. We receive all of that at So Hope. And then last but not least, if you believe in prayer and the power of prayer, pray for us that we will continue to do the great work of serving the community.
Absolutely beautiful. All right, I got to ask you, what do you love about St. Louis?
Oh my gosh, I love St. Louis. So my nickname used to be a cheerleader for St. Louis. I was like St. Louis's cheerleader. Even at college, I was always like, I am from St. Louis. But what I love the most are the people and the hearts of the people here in St. Louis, and the great neighborhoods too.
Yeah, I love that answer. It is truly an incredible area. So, Kacie, I can't thank you enough for being here with us today. It really means the world to me. So thank you so much for
Chris.
sharing.
Thanks so much.
So Hope and the incredible work you're doing in our community. To learn more about So Hope Community Sewing Room and to see all of their classes, simply go to allthingslocalstl.com and search So Hope. Stay with us. We'll be right back to wrap things up in a moment. I want to thank our guests, Alison Hillman of BTP by Alison and Kacie Starr Long of So Hope Community Sewing Room, for being with us today. You can learn all about them both by going to allthingslocalstl.com. There you will see all the incredible St. Louis-based companies and nonprofit organizations that we feature here on All Things Local STL TV. And we ask you to check out the website today, allthingslocalstl.com, and please follow us on social media to share the positive and incredible people, businesses, and organizations that make the St. Louis area so special. Help us share these stories and join the Shop Local and Support Local revolution today. I have to thank the amazing team here at Outreach Studios for their support in bringing this show to you. And you can find Outreach Studios as well as their beautiful event space, View 17, one of the most spectacular spots in town, at allthingslocalstl.com as well. And of course, I want to thank you for tuning in today and taking the time to learn more about these incredible St. Louisans. Please join us for future episodes where you can learn more about all things local. Until next time, please be kind to one another and keep loving local. Bye, everyone.